sometimes in life we think we could say and do things as we please, but in reality we cannot. Sometimes in life we might think what we do in life does not affect everyone around us, but it does. We have to be mindful. There are little ones with little eyes, ears, hands, and feet. They are children that are looking up to us. They are watching and listening of what we do. And I said sometimes we are kind to other people, but we have to remind ourselves to be kind to our own self. In this episode, both ladies suffered from low self-esteem. K.Michelle explains her story, how her bot surgery affected her work performance, where she had to reduce her work to 30 minutes because she could not stand due to the pain and the aches in her legs. And she used Dolly Parton as a motivation. What would Dolly Parton do? She would push up her boobs and still keep on pushing. And I said, in my opinion, I think it would be dope before K.Michelle ever get out of music that Dolly Parton and K.Michelle actually do a song together. Comment down below if you think that would be awesome. Dolly Parton and K.Michelle will do a song together. I would like that. Somebody needs to make that happen, Captain. I said we all suffer from low self-esteem. Even I suffer from low self-esteem. As human beings, we all experience the same thing. But I said, what are we teaching our children? When we don't like ourselves, we go under a knife. That's the answer to everything when we're feeling down about ourselves? No, that is not the answer. Okay, that is not the answer. You have an older lady who was dealing with self-esteem issues at the age of 5. She explains that when she was 5 years old, that she was going on a diet. That's why she was not going to eat her empanada. And I said, I never heard of a child that at that age speaking about a diet. Sometimes there are kids that are obese at younger age, but they only go on a diet unless a doctor instructs the parent to put their kids on a diet. In my mind, I'm like, did she hear somebody tell her to go on a diet, or did somebody teach her this? Was she bullied at the age of 5 that she thought she needed to go on a diet? Because how many of you hear kids say, I'm going on a diet? As a kid, I never heard a kid say that. I always hear kids say, gimme, I want more. That's what I hear kids say. I don't hear them say, I'm going on a diet at the age of 5. She was an older lady with a youthful face with an old body. Her bot surgery left her with extra skin, and she had to wear a compression bodysuit to hide all that skin. But when you look at the photo, I'm glad they did a before and after on this show. It is very important to do a before and after. So when I saw the photos of her, I felt like there was nothing wrong with her. I was like, what is this lady even talking about? She looked perfectly healthy and fine to me. But in her mind, she was fat, okay? I said any kid at an early age, especially at the age of 5, any parent hear their children talking about going on a diet and knowing that their child is not obese should really have a daily conversation to see where their mental state is at, because I see no reason why a child that's not obese going on a diet. The photo that they showed, the lady wasn't even fat as a kid, so I don't understand. She explains that she had an upper body lift and a double backiplasty where they removed 85% sleeve of her stomach, and that means her stomach was as small in shape like a banana. I said, that's crazy. Is your stomach supposed to be that small? I guess for people who are really obese, it's a good idea. But I said, if it's not suggested by a doctor, I wouldn't recommend getting it unless a doctor suggests that you have this procedure. After her plastic surgery, it took a turn for the worse. It looked like the mom was playing a doctor with her skin. They was like just basically playing operation, just putting pieces wherever they wanted to put it, okay? That's what it looked like to me. And she explains her mother discovered that she had meat hanging out. And I said, that meat actually looked like a bone to me. She felt like it looked like somebody put a meat in a grinder and made a sausage out of it and just placed it there. I say, yeah, it really looked like a bone to me. It didn't look like meat, but that's what it was. It was just meat just sitting there. And she had very horrible scars all over her body, where they left a big hole in her arm. Like, that's crazy. Her near-death experience had opened her eyes, because she has a daughter, and you could clearly, her daughter is very protective and love her mother, because I said she is so smart. At the end of the day, the mother was like, what if I would have passed away? I would have not been there for my child to have lifelong memories as she got older. She would have not had a bond, and her daughter would have grew up without her. I said, can you just imagine that you have an operation and you pass away and you have no plan in place to take care of your children? Who will your children go to? And I said, do you want your child to go in foster care? Like, because foster care is not a place for a child. So this is why I say, when you make decisions, especially if you got a family, it's not always about you. You have to think about the people around you and how this will affect them as well. When K.Michelle interviewed her daughter, which I love her name, Brooklyn. I love that name. And I said, can your daughter's name is Brooklyn too? I just love that name. I love Brooklyn for a name for a kid. At the end of the day, she was like, she was going to do more research so she could protect her mom. I thought that was so cute and adorable. I like, if a child ain't come out doing research and how they going to protect their mom, you know they have a close bond. You know these two have a close bond at the end of the day. Okay, K.Michelle has a conversation with the lady, and the truth actually comes out. Because she didn't want to pay all that money, she had her surgery in a basement, where she would have paid $16,000. I said, that's a lot for a procedure. That's a lot of money. I said, that money that you saving for a procedure, you could be saving for a down payment for a home, or taking your entire family on a vacation. I think that's how much it would be to take your entire family on a vacation. $16,000. And that's like a deposit on a house too. Like, what we talking about? Let me tell you, your kids will love you unconditionally. They don't care about your flaws. They don't care about your mistakes. All they see is that you're their parent. And they truly love you for you. To me, the kids is really showing the adults the way. So she goes into Dr. Rubenstein, and Dr. Rubenstein tells her all what he could do. Okay, he said, we would try to get your mobility back. Because of her surgery, she couldn't lift one of her arms up. So she was limited to doing activities with her daughter. She couldn't even play volleyball with her kids. And they actually have the surgery. She's on the table. The surgery actually is a success. After the surgery, K.Michelle asked her how did the surgery went, and it was a success. And the lady could actually lift her arm all the way up. And she was able to play volleyball. And the horrible scars that you saw, Dr. Rubenstein did an amazing job. Because you hardly saw no scars on her arm. I like the scars looked like they was really invisible. So you have a next lady who's actually young, who suffered from low self-esteem and had plastic surgery as well. And she told us that she had her first child at the age of 17. So that means she was a teen mom. She became a teen mom and she had other children. And after all her pregnancies, she started gaining weight. A lot of women do not gain weight and some do. So every pregnancy is not the same. So some experience weight gain and some do not. So for her to lose the weight, she had a gastric bypass. And she was still unhappy with herself. And the before pictures, I saw nothing wrong with the girl. Okay? She looked healthy to me. I ain't see no issue. But she was not happy with herself. The gastric bypass, she wanted another surgery. And she noticed her mom had surgery in DR. The lady says her mother cannot look better than her. I'm like, why are you competing yourself with your mother? In my opinion, in life, parents should not compete with each other. The only time they should be competing each other, unless it's a board game, a sport, then that's something different, all right? But when it comes to your health, why are we comparing ourselves to our mom? I said after your parents raise you into adulthood, your parents have a life that they have to pour back into them because they spent their time taking care of you. So they deserve to look their best after they raise you into adulthood. And as a child, you should have been supportive of your mother instead of competing with your mother. That's just my opinion. As a child, I would want my mama to look better. I would want my mama to look her best. I would want my mama to feel her best at all times. And if my mama is down, I would try to encourage my mama to be up. I'm just saying. We both should be not competing, but uplifting each other for us to be our best each and every day. That's just my opinion. I like, oh no, not Dominican Republic. Yo, DR has been in the news for a long time for killing black people. Girl, I like, you want to see your research and then you just check the news. DR have a history, okay? I have heard news. Black people went to DR and never made it back, okay? I like, girl, I could have told you that's a no, dog. I could have told you that was a no, dog. At the end of the day, K.Michelle heard that she won a contest to get plastic surgery. Child, K.Michelle says you win free contest for your dinner, not for your body. And I said, I agree with you, K.Michelle. I said, I agree with you, girl. I like, first of all, I feel like this lady entered the contest and she got scammed. I feel like nobody else entered the contest but her. That's why her name was picked. Because people already knew this was not a good deal, but only her. That's just my opinion. She got scammed. She got bamboozled. She got woodwinked. Because she was the only person that entered the contest. That's why her name was called. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. So they showed the photos of the thing. After her surgery, she began to swell. And let me tell you something. Her bag began to fill up with blood. Oh my God. I said, all that blood is a lot in a bag because you have to change that. And if you don't, the lady got an infection in her stomach. The photos they showed looked like somebody took a drill and drew a hole in her stomach. She literally didn't have a belly button. It was just a hole. It looked like a size of a bullet when you get shot. I was like, oh my God. Child, I cannot. I can't with these people. I just can't. I like this. This show is a lot. It's a lot. So this lady has a family. She is married to a Jamaican and we get her husband's perspective. And I think her husband is very nice. I said this show is making a believer out of me. There are good men in the world. And there are men that will love you for your flaws and accept you for who you are at the end of the day. And they will take care of you if you're sick. I'm like, Her husband seemed very nice and very patient with this lady. And I'm glad she talked about her intimacy. Because I was like, these people that's doing all this surgery, how they being intimate with each other? Clearly, because the wife is sick, the husband is lacking intimacy as well. They can't be sexual with each other. Just holding each other. He couldn't even do that because she would be in pain. K.Michelle actually meet with her, and she tells her story that she thinks they use dirty instruments and they just wasn't doing their job at the end of the day. And she had to go to the ER after the surgery. In my opinion, I said before a doctor say a person get plastic surgery, they should recommend they see a therapist before they go underneath the knife. Because some people, there's nothing wrong with them in reality, but something inside them mentally is saying negative things about themselves and they are believing it. I think the only thing that can help that is a psychiatrist to figure that out. What is wrong with them? Is it a physical or mental thing before they go underneath a knife? We have to learn to pour love into ourselves. Love is kindness. Love is compassion. Love is patience. So where we're taking better care of ourselves, mentally and physically. Okay? Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Let me tell you something. If I have self-esteem issues, baby, I'm going to do it naturally. And that money I'm saving up to have surgery would have went somewhere else. That's just me. That's just me. And I thank God I am not that person to be looking in the mirror. I do not look in the mirror every day. I do not look in the mirror. Anybody that ever see me, you will not see me looking in the mirror. I am not that vain. I keep it simple and I keep it moving. Okay? I don't do all that. I don't do all that. I like that too much. It's too much. She can lift her arm all the way. She can only lift it like this or something like that. I actually know somebody that actually went to the DR, and I know DR is beautiful because they told me, but they not black. They was white, so they was able to make it back to America. I never heard of DR killing white people. Okay, it's always the black people that's getting harmed in DR.